Hello and welcome to the Microsoft Azure Data Fundamentals course. I'm Krista Santos, your Microsoft technical trainer, and I'm here to help you dive deeper into Azure's data services and understand how to utilize them efficiently. We're almost at the finish line of this course, but don't get too sad just yet. We've saved one of the most exciting topics for last, data visualization. And that means we get to dive into one of everyone's absolute favorite tools, Microsoft Power BI. I can't wait to show you how this incredible platform can bring your data to life and make insights more actionable than ever. Let's get started. Let's jump right into the world of data visualization. A cornerstone of business intelligence and one of the most powerful ways to make data speak. And there's no better tool for the job than Microsoft Power BI. By the way, the BI in Power BI stands for business intelligence, because that's exactly what it delivers, intelligence that drives smarter decisions. Now picture this. You're a data analyst for a retail company, and your task is to create an interactive dashboard that tracks daily sales performance across multiple regions. Management needs to quickly see which regions are exceeding targets and which are falling behind. They also need insights into inventory levels and customer trends so that they can make decisions about restocking or adjusting market strategies on the fly. Instead of spending hours sifting through raw data, Microsoft Power BI allows you to present these insights in clear, interactive visuals. Decision makers can instantly spot trends, identify problem areas, and take action, whether it's boosting inventory in high-demand areas or retargeting marketing efforts where sales are lagging. With Power BI, you can turn raw data into real-time insights, making it easy for leaders to understand the full picture at a glance and make smarter, faster decisions. Your journey begins with Power BI Desktop, your command center for building data models and visual reports. This desktop application gives you everything you need to import data from multiple sources, clean and transform that data, and then organize it into a flexible, easy-to-use model. From there, the fun begins, building interactive visuals that aren't just pretty, but practical. They empower users to drill down, filter, and explore the data at their own pace. Once you've built your reports, it's time to publish them to the Power BI service, a cloud platform that makes your insights accessible to business users across your organization, wherever they are. And while the Power BI service offers some basic in-browser editing, the real creative power comes from Power BI Desktop, where you can have a full suite of tools to bring your vision to life. But Power BI isn't just about creating static reports. You can schedule automatic data refreshes so your data is always up to date. You can also build dashboards and apps that consolidate multiple reports into a single cohesive experience, making it easy for users to access all the insights they need in one place. And the best part, they can view and interact with these dashboards and reports not only in their web browser, but also on the go with Power BI mobile app. Talk about real-time insights anytime, anywhere. Before we jump into more, let's dive into a foundational concept, data modeling. This is where you turn raw data into structured, usable models that power all your reports and visualizations. It's the key to unlocking the full potential of your data in Power BI. Analytical models are the backbone of meaningful data analysis. They allow us to organize and structure data in a way that makes sense for business insights. These models are made up of related tables of data where we define the numerical values we want to analyze, called measures, and the entities we use to break down those measures, known as dimensions. Let's imagine an analytical model that includes a table with sales-related measures, like revenue or quantity sold, and dimensions such as products, customers, or time. With this model, you can easily aggregate sales data across these dimensions to answer key business questions. For instance, you could identify total revenue by customer or track how many units of specific product were sold per month. Then we have the dimension tables, which represent the entities used for aggregation, like products or customers. Each entity in these tables has a unique identifier, and the other columns describe attributes of that entity, such as a product name, a customer location, or even customer addresses. A common dimension you'll encounter is time, which allows you to conduct powerful time series analysis, such as tracking sales growth over months or years. On the other side of this model are the fact tables. These tables store the numeric measures that get aggregated. Each row in a fact table represents a specific event tied to those numeric values. For example, in a sales fact table, each row could represent a sales transaction, with values for quantity sold, total revenue, and the time, and the product related to that sale. Hierarchies let you group and structure data in meaningful ways, allowing you to drill down or roll up for analysis at different levels. Imagine in the product table, you've got a hierarchy where categories contain multiple products. Or in the customer table, a hierarchy that organizes customers by region and city. Similarly, in the date table, you can build hierarchies for year, month, and day. This makes it simple to shift the scope of your analysis with a click, zooming in for more detail or stepping back for a broader view. So how do you build these analytical models in Power BI? Power BI makes it incredibly intuitive. Using Power BI Desktop, you can import data from multiple sources and define relationship between fact and dimension tables. You can also create hierarchies, set data types, and customize display formats for fields to create a robust model for analysis. All of these features allow you to create a dynamic and interactive model that supports your business intelligence needs, ensuring that your data is always organized, accessible, and ready for in-depth analysis. Data visualization comes in all shapes and sizes, and with Power BI, the possibilities are practically endless. You've got a ton of built-in visualizations to work with, plus the option to spice things up even more with custom or third-party visuals. Now, while we don't have time to cover them all today, let's dive into some of the more popular and powerful ones you'll want to keep in your toolkit. Let's start with essentials: tables and text cards. Tables are fantastic when you need to present a lot of related data in a simple, organized way. They keep things clean and structured. On the other hand, text cards are the perfect way to call out those key figures, whether it's a sales total or a critical metric. They make sure the important stuff gets the spotlight. For comparing numbers across categories, bar charts and column charts are your best friends. They make it super easy to see the differences at a glance. Want to track how things change over time? That's where line charts shine, helping you visualize trends as they evolve. Of course, you can't forget the good old pie chart. It's a classic for a reason. Pie charts are great at showing how different categories contribute to the whole, making it easy to spot which slice of the pie is the biggest. Now, if you're looking to compare two numeric measures, say sales revenue versus customer satisfaction scores, there's nothing better than a scatter plot. It's your go-to tool for spotting patterns and correlations between two sets of data. And when you need to visualize data by location, maps are your secret weapon. Whether you're comparing regional performance or tracking customer distribution, maps bring a whole new dimension to your insights. But here's where Power BI really pulls ahead: its interactivity. Think of it as magic at your fingertips. When you select a category in one visual, Power BI instantly updates all the other visuals on your report to reflect that selection. It's an interactive experience that makes your data come to life, letting you explore and analyze with ease. And the best part, it happens so seamlessly that it feels effortless. I've built it up enough, so let's get hands-on. Let's fire up Power BI and explore these amazing features together. Time to see how these visuals can turn your data into powerful and actionable insights. Okay, so this time we are not going to go into any portal because this is the Power BI session. So we're going to open Power BI Desktop. You should have it installed in whichever machine you want to do this demo in. All right. So I have my Power BI already opened up here. And the first thing I'm going to do is create a new report. Okay, so a new report. So I'm just going to click that. And this is what Power BI Desktop looks like. Okay. And on the main screen that we have here, we have a couple of tabs. For me, the most important one right now, since I don't have any data in this tab, you can see over here, I have my visualizations pane and my data pane. So I don't have any data in here, so I need to get data. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is click on this Get Data button. And I'm going to select More. And you can see the whole suite of connectors that we have available here in order to connect to different data services or data sources, right? The one that we are going to look at for this demo is going to be the web connector. So I'm just going to select Web, and I'm going to select this Web API. And I have a URL over here with some data. So I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it in my URL section. Okay. Now for the connection credentials, since this is a public URL, I'm not going to use any authentication. I'm just going to keep it to anonymous. And I'm going to click on Next. And this is a little bit of a preview of this file, which is actually indeed a CSV file, right? You can see that at the end of the URL, it says customers.csv. So if you want to take a look at the preview of the data, this is what it looks like. And what we're going to do is just click on the load button right here to load it directly into my report so that it's available in here. You can see it's working its magic. And now I have a new query here, which is going to be my customers table. So what I'm going to do also is I'm going to rename this to customers. All right. So let's load another table. Let's get some products also. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to Home. I'm going to say Get Data. And this time I'm just going to select the Web API here. And I'm going to paste the products link. Keep the authentication kind to anonymous. Click on Next. And this is what my products table looks like. And let's load this as well into my report. Let's do the same step and rename this to products. All right. And for a final table, I'm going to get some orders. So let's do the same steps, get data, go to the Web API, and then put in my URL for the orders dataset. We'll keep the authentication type to be anonymous and select Next. Again, this is a little bit of a preview of the orders data, and I'm going to select Load. All right, there you go. I have my 3 tables, and I'm going to rename this also to be orders. Great. So in here, I have my customers table, I have my orders table, and I have my products table. Now let's go and explore how to create a data model. For this, I am going to go to my model tab. You can see it right here on the left side. I'm going to click in there. So here you can see our data model, and you can see that these are created automatically. The relationships between my tables are created automatically. And we can cross-verify if these relationships are created well. So here you can see my customer ID and customer ID are selected, so that's good. And this is a many-to-one relationship between my customers table and my orders table, which is also correct. And then for my product relationship with the orders, also many-to-one relationship coming from the orders table to the products table, also really good. Okay. So now that we have explored the data model, let's go to the orders table itself. So I'm just going to select my orders table. And you can see that my properties blade, and in our properties tab, you'll notice that if there is a table selected, it will give me all that information about that table. So let's go to this revenue column. So if I select a revenue column, now you can see all of my details in my properties tab are actually for my revenue column. So over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the format to currency because it's a revenue column and I want my data to be shown in the format of currency. All right. Now that that's done, what we're going to do also is we're going to create a hierarchy in my products table. Okay. So in my products table, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on my category column and I'm going to create a hierarchy. So I'm just going to create a hierarchy. So you can see I have a new hierarchy created, category hierarchy. If I open it up, you can see I have only one column in my category hierarchy. So we need to add another column here. So in order to do that, I'm going to right click on my product name field and I'm going to add it to the category hierarchy. There you go. All right. So now I have two fields in my category hierarchy. Now the only thing left to do here is rename my category hierarchy. So I'm just going to click on my category hierarchy here and I'm going to call this categorized product. There you go. I'm just going to click there and that's going to be renamed to categorized product. Okay. Now let's go to the data view. So you can see over here, I also have my data view. So it's the second tab on the left. So the first one is a report view, the second one is a data view, and the third one is my model view. So I'm going to go to my table view or data view, and I'm going to select my customers table. And over here, I'm going to select my city column, and I'm going to give it a data category. And I'm going to say this city column should be categorized as a city. All right. So let's select that. All right. So it's made that change. And now we are done with making changes to our data model. Let's go back to the report view, which is available right here. And let's start building our report. Okay, but before we build our report, I need to make sure that I have one option enabled to help me create my report. For this, I'm going to go to my File, Options and Settings, right down here, Options. And here under Security, I am going to make sure that I have this enabled. So this is already enabled for me. Just wanted to check if it's already enabled. And with that, I can say OK and close this settings page. And now we can actually start building our report. So the first step I want to do is add a text box. I'm going to add a text box which says sales report. And I'm going to make this a pretty large size. Select the text and then make that to be a 32 font. I can make it bold, right? I'm going to just make the space. It doesn't need this much space. I'm just going to make it a bit smaller here. All right, there you go. I have a title of my report. So now let's start adding some visualizations. The first visualization I want to add is going to be for my categories, my hierarchy that I've created. So I'm just going to go to my products table, and I'm just going to select this categorized product hierarchy. Nothing else, just select it. Okay, it's going to create a table in my report. Now, with this table selected, I'm also going to add my revenue column. So I'm just going to select revenue, and that should add revenue to this table. So you can see I have sum of revenue added here. I'm just going to move this up a little bit so it's right below my sales report column title. All right. Now this looks like a good table, but what we want to do is change this into a column chart. So I'm going to go to my visualizations and I'm going to select this stacked column chart. You can see it right there. So make sure my table is selected and change it to a stacked column chart. All right. So there you go. I have a chart here. Now, if I want this to be ordered by a specific sorting, I can also do that. So I'm just going to show you all of the data in here. And if I want this to be sorted, for example, according to sum of revenue and not alphabetically according to category, I can just come in here and change that. And now you can see it's sorted according to sum of revenue. And let's also make it descending instead of ascending. There you go. Looks much better. Okay. Now, one of the really cool things about hierarchies is the ability to drill down into more detail. Remember, this is not just category that we have here. This is category from a hierarchy. So I can go down to a deeper level, to the products level as well. All I need to do is go to this, to these arrows here. I have one here and another one here. Both of them take me to the next level. So let's click on the one which has two arrows down. And now you can see instead of categories, I have product names. Right? Cool. We can drill up to go up to the previous level of detail. Okay, great. Let's add another visual to our report. Let's add this time quantity. I'm not going to select. I'm going to just deselect everything. Just select the canvas and add quantity. And category. There you go. I have another bar chart, but this time I want to get a pie chart. So I'm just going to go here to my visualizations library and select my pie chart. There you go. I have a very nice looking pie chart. All right, that looks good. So this is the sum of quantity by category. Okay, so if I select that here, you can see the legend is category and the values is sum of quantity, and it's slicing and dicing it by category. Perfect, looks good. Let's add our last visualization, and this time, without having anything selected, I'm going to select the city column, and I'm going to select the revenue column. Okay, now because we have that option already selected, which is use filled maps, you can see that it's automatically filling these maps for me. Okay, so I can zoom in, I can interact, I can click on a certain point, which will then filter the selection on the rest of my report. I can click out here, I can zoom out, I can select another one. So this is a very, very interactive map that we have here. All right. And I can zoom into Europe as well. So the United Kingdom, we have a lot of data points in the UK. And then I can select, for example, London. And this will give me the selection in the other visuals for London, for example. All right. Okay. So that's a little bit about our maps. And with that, we have created our report. And all we need to do is save our report. So if I go to File and Save, I can save this report locally on my machine, which will create a PBIX file, which I can then make more edits to at a later point. And finally, if I'm happy with this report, I can also publish this report to Power BI service. So you can see that I have a publish button here. Once I am ready with all of my changes and edits, and I feel like sharing this with the rest of my organization, I'm ready to publish this report to the Power BI service. And with that, we have come to the end of this demo. I'll see you back in the presentation. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground in this session, diving deep into data modeling and visualization within Microsoft Power BI. But let's not forget everything else we've explored throughout this course. In session 1, we laid the foundations by exploring the fundamentals of data. We talked about the different data types and how data is managed and the roles data professionals play in the modern data landscape. In session 2, we took a deep dive into relational databases, learning about their structure, advantages, and how to effectively manage relational data using Azure SQL database and other related services. In session 3, we explored non-relational data services, such as Azure Blob Storage, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, and Azure Cosmos DB. We discussed how these services handle unstructured or semi-structured data, offering flexible storage and scalability for various use cases. In session 4, we laid the groundwork for data analytics. We learned how large-scale data analytics solutions, combined with various warehousing techniques and big data technologies, can transform raw data into meaningful and actionable insights. Then in session 5, we ventured into the exciting world of real-time analytics. We saw the importance of processing streaming data, and we were introduced to the powerful Microsoft Fabric and Spark structured streaming, which enables real-time data flow and analysis. And now in session 6, we've taken those insights and shown how Microsoft Power BI can turn them into stunning visualizations, bringing your data to life in a way that makes decision-making faster and more effective. But here's the best part. There's always more to learn. If you want to dive even deeper into these concepts, I highly encourage you to visit Microsoft Learn. There you'll find a wealth of learning paths, labs, and hands-on practices that will help solidify the knowledge you've gained in this course and give you the tools to explore even more. Before we wrap up, I want to extend a big thank you for joining us today in this course. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep driving towards those data-driven insights that will shape the future. Until next time, happy data crunching and see you soon.